Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard, I'm Penge, and welcome to day 3 of the Geek Cupboard's Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2022. So here we are back again with our wonderful tea advent calendar with the little happy smiley face, which is quite lovely. So let's open it up and we shall try to find little door number 3, or I should say really massive door number 3, because everything about this advent calendar is quite big. It's a great big huge chunky thing. I can't see number 3 over there. I can see number 3 over here. Okay. Right, this is a little bit weirdly appropriate. So the little kind of thing on the door is saying, enjoy a sleep in. And weirdly enough, today we did get to have a little bit of I'd say a lie-in, but a sleep in. Not a massive one, because of course we have 2 kids and we don't get to generally have massive, long, half-day lie-ins anymore. But we did get to have a little bit of a lie-in. Did you know this was going to happen? Advent calendar? That's a bit weird. So normally, on Saturday mornings, as it is right now, we take our daughter dancing. So we have to get up in the morning and make sure she's dressed and got dancing things on and she's got food and drink and all that kind of stuff. And then we have to drive her to where dancing happens. And that begins at 9 o'clock. So on Saturday mornings, we don't normally get to have a lie-in because we're up and about doing stuff. But then, this morning, dancing wasn't on. It wasn't on at all. It's not going to be on until the new year, I think, because the place where they do dancing is now booked out to do other stuff. So we did get a bit of a lie-in. Again, not like a massive sort of half-day lie-in where we rolled out of bed at 2 o'clock or whatever in the afternoon and went, right, there we go, brilliant. We got an extra sort of hour and a bit possibly, which is quite nice because, of course, the kids are still in the house. We can't just kind of ignore them for half a day and expect them to get on with stuff. But, we did get a little bit of a lie-in. That's weirdly appropriate there. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. We did get a lie-in. So let's see what today's tea is to go with the lie-in that happened earlier, but it's fine. Let's open this up. Hang on. I need to use this hand for this and make sure I don't knock the arm that's holding the camera because otherwise it'll go all wobbly. So let's see, what do we have then? Open this up. Very satisfying kind of clunky noise. Okay, right, there are different quotes on each one. Hang on, let me try and hold that up. I don't know where I'm going from here, but it won't be without tea. Absolutely, yes. That's the best mentality of things. Okay, let's turn it over. I like the way that, you don't know what the tea is. Even when you've opened the door, you're still not quite sure what it is until you turn it over. So, okay, black tea in a bag. So we have T2 Morning Sunshine. This harmonious mix of Assam, Darjeeling and Rwandan estate black teas offers malty notes with a touch of muscatels and mild fruitiness. Simply exceptional. This brew's just a sip to wake up to. Okay, so might be having it a little bit after the waking up times, but that's okay. It does say, enjoy with, perfect on its own, or with a dash of milk. I mean, if it's a black tea, normally, like black tea is what I would have regularly, like Yorkshire Gold is a type of black tea, isn't it? Then, I'd put a bit of milk in, so I might well be having this with a bit of milk. It seems to be like a kind of a breakfast, like an English breakfast tea, but obviously not English. So, okay. I like the sound of this. Just morning sunshine. It sounds like a lovely, nice sort of cup of tea to start your day with. But, okay, so we know what the tea is, which means that we now have to go to the kettle. Okay, and here we are with our lovely freshly brewed cup of morning sunshine tea. Or should it be more said in a kind of a Cockney accent like morning sunshine? Because that's what people can say to each other. They go, all right, sunshine, how are you doing? Because that's like, a sort of an affectionate term for somebody calling them sunshine. So it could be just morning sunshine tea. It could be morning sunshine kind of tea. But whatever the case, we've got the tea. And it looks like a regular cup of tea, as I would say. It looks like, a sort of a cup of Yorkshire tea. It's just sort of a normal cup of tea. I mean, I have put a bit of milk in it. It wasn't that strong. I left it sort of, stewing / brewing / steeping, whatever you want to call it, for probably more than, I think it said was it 2 minutes it recommended? Hang on a second. Bring it in 2 to 4 minutes. And I left it in for probably more toward the 4 minutes because I went to speak to Mrs. Penge for a bit. So it's probably more toward the 4 minute mark. So it wasn't that strong. It wasn't that strong considering it had been in there for a while, but I put a bit of milk in. So it's not got that much milk in, but because it wasn't that strong, it looks, it's not as sort of, not as dark a colour of a cup of tea I might normally have. But I'm going to taste it. I mean, to smell it, it smells like tea. It smells quite nice. It doesn't smell fruity or whatever. It just smells like a regular cup of normal black tea. But we'll taste it because it might taste absolutely incredible. So hang on, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. Yeah, it is it said on the thing, didn't it? Hang on, go back to the packet again. It said it's malty. Yeah, malty notes. You can taste that there is a definite, strong malty flavour to it. A little bit more than you would have, say, with a cup of Yorkshire tea or Yorkshire Gold or whatever. It's not quite got the sort of the bitterness, I would say, that other teas would have, sort of other black teas. But yeah, it's got, that's all right. It's got a nice sort of malty taste to it. Sort of, there's sort of, not an aftertaste. You can taste it when you're drinking it. But yeah, it's quite nice. That's quite nice. It's like a sort of a normal cup of tea that's ever so slightly different. It's a bit more sort of maltier. It did say it's got fruity notes on the thing. I can't taste the fruity notes. Hang on. No, I can't really taste any fruity kind of elements to it. It's just a nice cup of tea. If I made this for myself, I'd be happy. If I went to a cafe or whatever, a tea room, and said, I'll have this tea, please, and they served me this, I would be very, very happy. It's quite a nice, decent tasting cup of regular, normal tea, as I would say. But yeah, okay, it's quite nice. There you go. Yeah, it's a nice cup of tea. It's nothing exceptional, but it's not terrible either. So there we go. I can have my lovely cup of tea, and we shall look at today's question, which comes from Max Frost. And they say, my question is about behind the scenes of the Geek Cupboard. Will you ever employ someone? Do you think there's growth opportunities in expanding the number of geeks in the cupboard? And Joe, I thought about this, but I don't think there is. I mean, physically, there is no real room for anybody else in here because it's a very teeny tiny room. You couldn't fit another person in here. I suppose in theory, you could expand the desk a bit in sort of that. There's a wall in that direction. The computer is, hang on. That was me tapping the side of the computer. So the computer is right there, and then there's a wall. The side of the house is in that direction. There's possibly a tiny bit of room there. But if you did have to leave the room, the other person who's in that direction would have to move out of the way of the door. They'll have to keep scooting out the way of the door. That's how small this room is. It's a really small room. So, physically, we couldn't get anybody else in here. But, I kind of know you don't necessarily mean literally inside the Geek Cupboard. I don't think there is, at the moment, the opportunity to do so, because I wouldn't be able to pay anybody else enough money at all for them to do anything with. The Geek Cupboard does make some money. Like the Patreon and the YouTube membership stuff goes right back into the channel pretty much immediately. So on hardware, like new headphones, I've got some new headphones recently, and new keyboard and storage. I have to buy some storage devices to keep it all on, and various other bits and bobs. That helps out. And then the general YouTube advertising stuff is okay. It's not enough to live off, not right now. So I won't be able to pay anybody any kind of decent amount of money, I wouldn't say. So I could get somebody in, but they'd be on, pittance. They'd be on hardly anything, and they would get grumpy about this, and they'd probably tell me to go away. And I do like as well to have control of all the stuff. So I know what I'm doing with the editing. I know how I like to edit things. And I know we don't really have much in the way of editing in Geek Cupboard videos. So, relatively sort of linear, in a case of, right, there's a thing that happened, there's a bit of silence, I'd say something like, oh, right, let's just wait for that thing to get built. And then I know to cut at the end of that, and then when I start talking again, just going to pick up at that point. So there's not that much in the way of clever editing, really. It's just, relatively straightforward, because that's how it works. That's how the Geek Cupboard does its thing. It's not like, say, Spiffing Brit. Spiffing Brit, his videos are quite highly edited, so he can spend a long time doing his videos. He spends a long time playing like Civ or Skyrim or whatever, sometimes over many days, I believe. And then, he can just sort of get it all edited together. And he does have an editor. He's got an editor, or editors possibly, I don't know. He's a bit bigger than the Geek Cupboard. He's got a few more subscribers and a few more views on the go. But he's got an editor to help him out, because that's what he does with his videos. But we don't really do that much in the way of editing, other than just, stick the bits where I'm talking together and cut out all the mistakes. And with thumbnails as well, I kind of know what I'm doing with thumbnails, more or less. So I kind of have that idea. So if somebody else were to be doing it, I kind of feel like I'd be kind of fiddling about, leaning over their shoulder and looking, going, oh no, I don't know, not like that. Which might potentially annoy them a bit, because I know if that was the other way around, it would annoy me. So I'd be like, you've employed me to do this job, go away, let me do the job, you clear off and do something else. I do get quite often offers through, sent via email for editors and thumbnail people and people saying, "Oh, do your channel graphics," and all that kind of stuff. But I think we're okay. I mean, thumbnails, I put them together and it's okay. They work. It's sufficient. I mean, I think if you're doing a one-off, the thumbnail is quite important. If you're doing the thumbnail for part 28 of a series, it's not going to be. That's not going to be the standout video. That's not going to be the thing that YouTube is recommending to other people. YouTube's going to recommend the part 1 or whatever. So you want to make sure that, the part 1s of series or sort of one-off thumbnails are quite good. But for the most part, we do quite a lot of series. And when you're so far in, you don't need a flashy thumbnail. The people watching by that point are the ones invested in the series. New people aren't going to join on part 28 of a series. That would happen very infrequently, I would imagine. But that does sometimes happen. Through email, we do get a thing saying, "Hey, would you like me to design some channel graphics?" Or, "Hey, are you looking for an editor? I do this. Bibbly bobbly boo. These are my rates," or whatever. And you look and think, "Oh, crikeys. That's a lot of money there. I can't afford that. And I've nothing left. I'd have to take my own money out to pay that." So I suppose, long answer short, no. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't ever employ anybody. Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But I think the channel isn't big enough. It's not big enough to require, to be able to pay extra people. And really, it doesn't require it as such. I mean, it'd be lovely if I did have an editor that knew what I wanted to do. And I could just record something and then go, "You, editor person, edit this video together while I go downstairs and drink tea and eat cakes." That'd be great. But it would save time as well. I could get other stuff done. But there's not enough money. There's not enough money in it as it is right now to get anybody else on board. So I wouldn't ever say no, because we never know what's going to happen. We never know. But if we were ever to employ anybody else at all, it will not be anytime soon. It will not be anytime soon, if ever at all. But the channel would need to be significantly bigger to even remotely consider such a thing. I mean, think about what you could hire people for. It would be thumbnails. That'd be one thing. Channel graphics is a one-off kind of thing. That sometimes, pops up in email. People saying, "Hey, I'll do your channel graphics for you and create a fun little avatar for you," and all that kind of stuff. But I don't need anything fancy. The Geek Cupboard channel graphics are fine as they are. No, they're fine. It says the Geek Cupboard on it. It's got the door and the words "the Geek Cupboard." I might possibly change it a little bit in the new year just to remove the bit. There's a bit underneath where it says the Geek Cupboard, where it says like T challenges and let's plays or whatever. Might get rid of the challenges bit because we don't do challenges quite so often anymore. But I might switch that round a bit. But for the most part, the channel graphics are okay. So people could be employed to do thumbnails, channel graphics, or editing. That's kind of it, really. Possibly a bit of admin, going through emails and checking out, finding stuff from developers about new games or whatever. But I kind of do that. And I like doing that because then I get to figure out what new games might be good and what I don't want to play and that kind of stuff. So I don't see it happening. Again, never say never. Maybe one day, if the Geek Cupboard explodes and it's got 12 bajillion subscribers, which I don't think will ever happen, then maybe we would have to get somebody in. But right now, it's not going to happen. I don't think the channel's big enough. And also, there's not the money to pay a person. They wouldn't have enough money to work from, and that would make them a bit sad. So an interesting question. It did make me think about things. But I don't think there's much opportunity to actually sort of have employment stuff in the Geek Cupboard as it stands right now. Hopefully that answers your question sufficiently enough. So I think, with that done, I'm going to go and finish this tea. I'm surprised that it's just like a breakfast tea. It's just like a regular breakfast tea with a bit of a sort of a malty flavour to it. It's fine. It's a nice cup of tea. So I will go and finish this entirely nice cup of tea and we'll wrap things up. So for now, thank you very much for joining me on day 3 of the Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown 2022, and I will see you next time. This robotic arm has salmonella on it. Okay, so we've got 2 things that are diseased. Be warned about tutorial robot. He's all sort of retro and adorable. I think he wants to destroy humanity. Hungry humans, come and order some food. 74% efficiency. Oh my goodness. Wow. There he is. There's a murderous robot face.